And there we are, Remo. The undead in the bottom left. He is the underdog to the people, but he was goddamn impressive against Neutron for KPI Gaming. It's VortiX. And in the upper right, a two-time vice champion of the world playing for Sparks, it's Foggy. And as every time when we have an undead game here, we definitely look into the builds. And Remo's pretty much Bob the Builder. What can we see here?
Yeah, if there is a meta build, a standard build for undeads nowadays, I think it's more the happy build with a fast hero into only few ghouls. But of course, VortiX, we know how much he likes ghouls, and especially going into Gargs in the mid game and then possibly going for that knockout blow with Mass Frenzy ghouls in the late. So he is, unsurprisingly, starting off with the ghoul opening, and Foggy with the Demon Hunter standard creep route. Nothing too weird here just yet, no Keeper, no Warden. Especially a Keeper could really help with dealing with ghouls in the mid-game, but does fall off a lot in the late. If you're suddenly getting overrun by like 10 ghouls and 5 Gargs, then 1 or 2 Entangles don't really make a big difference.
Yeah, I agree, and Foggy got so damn good with this Demon Hunter. Yeah, there's some slight mistakes here and there, but the basics of that, he has it down thanks to all the cup finals against Happy. Prioritizing level 3, getting the boots, be annoying. How many times have we seen an early aggression Demon Hunter where the DK was just stuck in his base for like 30 seconds?
Yeah. Especially on certain maps like Concealed Hill, for example, we see that a ton. But that map has been vetoed. Won't be seeing it here. Is the DK once again being super aggressive early on? We've seen that by VortiX a few times now. In fact, this is exactly what happened against Neutron, where one Archer got snared and killed. But Foggy takes care of that a little bit better. Gets a decent way up to level 2, and I think the priority here for VortiX is going to be just be annoying, be aggressive, wait until you get more ghouls out, and make sure that this Demon Hunter doesn't creep too much too quickly.
Okay, so far, so good. We see the tech rolling for VortiX, more ghouls as you said, and Wisp Hunt as if it's like 2008, 2009. Mana burn, good block by VortiX, showing off his micro skills, but in the end, not enough because Foggy is pretty damn good in that regard as well. Not as good as his macro and strategies, obviously, we pointed that out in the pregame, but he knows how to move Wisps.
Yep, save them all, not a single one given away, and that is important for the Lumber later on, especially if you want to expand. Normally against Gargoyles, the thing you want to do most is expand, and Gargoyles is exactly what we're going to be seeing. Still only a single Ziggurat for VortiX. This build is gaining more and more traction. Edo has been preferring it a lot over in Germany, and VortiX also. Fast tech, pretty much as fast as the undead can. You're going to be stuck on 5 ghouls for a very long time. Ooh, 2 of them very hurt, but do survive. But yeah, the tech is going to be fast, the Gargs are going to come out fast, and the Night Elf isn't going to be on par with the tech timing. It is around 30 seconds or so behind for Foggy.
Okay, this strategy by VortiX looked so strong against Neutron. We pointed that out. But also Neutron was a little bit stubbornly going for the Naga second against this. And I wonder if Foggy makes an adjustment here and is going for a different second hero.
Yeah, Panda, the classic against Mass, Gargs, and Ghouls. Always has been for Night Elf. Nowadays, also, Alchemist has seen quite some play. Acid Bomb AoE is good against everything there, and he can attack air right away. As the only melee hero in the game to be able to do so without an orb. Demon Hunter gets the next big item.
Boots of Kel'Thalas, what a wonderful one it is. I don't know how he can fit 2 boots on 1 foot, but for the Demon Hunter, that is no problem at all. VortiX trying to creep here, getting level 2 finally, but the Big and All Overseer, he's still up for grabs. Would love to take that as well, to climb closer to level 3, but Foggy says no. And with the +6 damage, and with that increased attack speed, VortiX has to run. A little too late for that ghoul. Oh, and so I thought, but here is a wonderful block once again.
I think we just saw Foggy's homework paying off for the first time, really. He knew that very likely, or at least possibly, VortiX was going to be here, because this is exactly the same build and creep route, like exactly the same that VortiX showed against Neutron. He goes to his own green with the ghouls, picks up the item there, then brings some ghouls with the DK north, goes for the gnolls, and that is what the Demon Hunter was looking for. He creeps up a little bit more, and now he's level 3, with sentry wards as well, which is excellent for keeping vision on the map. Tier 2 is finished. And we have an AP coming right away. Doesn't want to get annoyed by these Gargs too much. And thank goodness, Ancient of Lore. Neutron tried to skip Dryads, but if you do that, if you just go Archers, we saw how deadly just a handful of ghouls, well, a lot of ghouls to be fair, can be.
It was a lot of ghouls indeed. Foggy is so prepared. He got Archers here, he got the Berserker here, he got the AP up, he's moving the Wisps to that protected area. He's going Panda instead of Naga. Now the big question is, how can VortiX adapt to this? Foggy certainly adapted to this build that was released yesterday. And now it's time to VortiX to find new challenges.
I would have loved to try to set up the expansion here on tier 2, but that didn't work, so he's going tier 3 instead. Did he keep every single ghoul alive so far, by the way?
I think he just lost one, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he's got 4. Oh no, he's got 5 still. Maybe he remade one. But yeah, keeping the ghouls alive is important. If you can keep most of them or all of them alive until the frenzy kicks in, that is a very strong timing. And Foggy needs to try to get ready against that potential timing by leveling the Panda. If he's level 1 for a long time, he is not a strong hero. But should he get to level 3, level 4, or even level 5, then suddenly he is crazy powerful in the late game.
Exactly. Is VortiX committing to these gargoyles? Because as you say, the Panda could be the hard carry. He's a little bit endangered here, but a coil is 20 mana away, so everything all right. Or is maybe a switch to Fiends the better idea?
It's kind of weird to go Gargs into Fiends. And it doesn't really mesh well together. Because you don't have really anything to take out the Archers very well, as we still don't have another hero also. It's only the DK. It looks kind of like VortiX is committed here with his style, and he wants to try to expand, but there's still a sentry down here. The Demon Hunter is chasing the DK, always getting in a few shots. Foggy is stably playing on one base, but it's still only one base versus one base, and a well-timed Ghoul timing with some heal scrolls in the mix can still lead to a lot of problems.
I feel like, though, Foggy is prioritizing things right. At first, at tier 2, he wanted to be stable. That's why he went for the Ancient Protector. He also wanted a tier 3 fast, and that's why he queued the Tree of Eternity tech with one Ancient of Lore and built the second Ancient of Lore later. So yes, of course, there are a few Dryads. There is protection for his main base, but he's also getting that sweet Orb of Venom.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. Finally, these melee heroes can attack air units. And against these low HP units of gargoyles and ghouls, that damage stacks up very quickly.
Frenzy
Gargoyles now with
coming.
1-0.
And Frenzy coming, but still creeping with the skull here. DK is still quite hurt and definitely not level 3. So instead of this all-in that we saw against Neutron, VortiX is switching it up and expands.
Trying to, at least. If Foggy comes down here with everything, he might be able to cancel this. But so far it's only the Demon Hunter. Oh, he's spreading a lot of damage. This is so much damage over time. Did he just hit all the gargoyles?
I think he missed one or two, but yeah, 4 or 5. It's like 60 damage, a little more over time. Really annoying. Of course, the statues are going to be good against that usually, but I don't see a Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, with the mass Gargs and Ghouls strat, normally you can fit a Slaughterhouse into that build. It's just 2 crypts and then go ham on Gargs and Ghouls. And you also have to go heal scrolls. You need heal scrolls. But you also need the orb. It's the orb first here for VortiX. And the first ziggurat finishes, and so will the second. Once there's 2 towers here, this position is really hard to break, but it's only 2 towers so far. No expansion, and seems like Foggy is fine with possibly giving this away to the opponent as he has his own expansion.
Yeah, I agree. And that makes me wonder what's going to be the transition after the expansion is up. And the answer is Bears. Bears are pretty good against buildings. They have Reacher, they have Roar. We called them Siege Bears for a while. So he's not Moon style going mass Dryads only. And I like that he's going away from that. Having a little bit of normal damage and all the spells that the Bears provide. It's really good for this army.
That Nero died pretty easy. The Acolyte repaired really late. Perhaps a mistake right there. Ghouls come in. So do the Gargs. Hard fight for Foggy. First Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire hit well, but there was a heal scroll to counter it. That heal scroll is now gone. The Panda has one more combo. Trying to line it up perfectly. Oh, the Breath of Fire dodged. Foggy was trying to prevent this by not using Drunken Haze, but VortiX so quick with the reflexes. That was kind of crazy. Prevented so much damage from this Panda. The Gargoyles are still chasing, so are the Ghouls. But most of the Ghouls are actually taken out. The Lich in the back surrounded the Demon Hunter. VortiX does it again. He's microing on 2 screens at the same time, and Foggy couldn't keep up.
Damn, I was even a little overwhelmed here. Didn't have it on the screen. Sorry about that. Breath of Fire, though, now getting a lot of traction. Double kill against these Gargs, and that was, of course, the Demon Hunter, the more important hero. Panda gets solo experience, and you mentioned that level 5. If that's level 5 and the Panda has some mana, you need to dodge a lot of these Breaths of Fire. Gargoyles were harassing the expansion in the upper left a little. Does he still have the firepower to cancel it now?
The tree itself, not. He could get the Entangle, but what does that really do?
It's a bear.
Oh, blocking with a Frenzy Ghoul. That is not so hard to do. That bear getting staffed out, though. Great usage of these staffs here so far by Foggy.
Also good
Demon
decision.
Still low. Ghouls come in again. Uh-oh. There's no staff ready for him if he gets surrounded. Oh, man, that was close. Panda is slower, easier to surround. Demon Hunter goes for the invul, trying to make sure he saves that himself. Takes out the Dryad, though. That's level 3 for the Lich. DK also getting more experience. If this DK is level 4, we go into race car mode.
Exactly. We have one more Breath of Fire here. The staff is off cooldown in 3, so he can risk of getting surrounded. And VortiX is so fast. Oh my god. But it feels like Foggy was baiting this a little. So all the ghouls group up and you hit all of them at once.
Yeah. Crucial staff there again. Man, these staffs have been really, really helpful. Entangle Goldmine cancel. Oh, it was so close to done, but too much damage from these ghouls. Man, 1 or 2 more breaths here. Might be able to take out a lot of these ghouls, but Panda can't come back in. Demon Hunter returns. He gets Nova right away, though. This is like the only Dryad for the last 2 minutes. That one's taken out, so no more slow at all. The Panda waddles back in. He's got a good mana here.
Also got a staff ready. Mana potion on the Demon Hunter. You can swap that for sure. VortiX retreats, seemingly happy with a distraction, with the expansion delay, with his own expansion up, 50 supply and about to break that as the Ziggurat is finished as well. Not moving away into Fiends or A-bombs or something. It's just more and more and more Gargs. For Foggy, we see the Dryads and, of course, the Entangled Goldmine. That's pretty even fights here so far.
Yeah. We're moving to 2 base. Experience-wise, who's it favoring? That's pretty damn close. DK close to 4, Panda close to 4, with the mana potion intending to be aggressive. So is VortiX, though, and he's certainly got the faster army and a lot of ghouls. He's turning around, though. Is that a full squad of ghouls? Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
It's so many. It's, again, the flood. Can Foggy withstand that with the Panda being so much more effective than the Naga was yesterday? He's killing a lot of Acolytes, so yes, his Entangled Goldmine got killed, but he's also doing damage to the economy. And highly prioritizing taking out the Acolytes.
Trying to get 2 surrounds at the same time. So the staff can't get everything out. Foggy has to be smart with his staff usage now. He got a nice combo in there. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Fights his way out of that surround. Lich is in a bit of trouble. Going for the bear. These bears, by the way, I'm not so convinced about them. The Reju is okay, but other than that, they've not been looking so impactful. Oh, but the Drunken Haze is. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. A lot of these ghouls have to retreat, so low HP, but he can't get the kill. Lots of damage on the ghouls, but very few actual pickoffs. Dryad returns. That's a bit of catch now coming in again. Supply-wise, we are very even, but at the moment, VortiX seems to have quite a bit more on the field. However, his expansion is barely mining.
Reju on the bear, well done. There was a little squad hunting this Dryad and the bear, and Foggy did a wonderful job in slowing down these ghouls with the Dryad, they can't really do the damage to the bear, and so in the end, both survived, and there was a rescue bear with Reju. I like that Foggy was called out for not having the greatest micro, but that was rock solid there.
He's coming back in for the attack.
A player's forces
Again,
are
this is
under
kind of
attack.
scary. There is a narrow pier for slowing. I think VortiX is starting to regret really hard not setting up a Necro at this expansion. Oftentimes can be tempting to be a little greedy. Don't go for a Necro, you don't need it necessarily, but once you start losing Acolytes, it does become painful, I mean, quite fast. VortiX waiting for the DK. He needs the heal scroll to go back into this fight. But the Narrow is taken out. The Panda has full mana and a mana pot. And the heal scroll is used before he even uses his first spell. But the ghouls are still kind of healthy. And we're going into the next big engagement. Going for the Demon here right away. He's taking a lot of damage. He's hitting level 4. But there's a staff for him. Staff to get out and to get back in also. But the Panda, now he's exposed. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Can he fight his way out? Everything is missing their attacks because of the debuff. Trying to take out this Panda, but there is the next staff. Foggies, staffs. Perfect this game, it seems. GG is called by VortiX. Foggy holds on against the Link Flow.
That was some sweet adjustment, man. These pendulum hero attacks were really good. Like when the one hero was out, the other was there. And here we saw the Demon Hunters bringing in another staff while staffing in, saving the Panda. One hero was always there dealing with VortiX. And yeah, as we said in the pregame, and Foggy 100% prepared for this.
Yeah, I think VortiX was again styling quite a bit here with lots of surrounds, especially where he took out the Demon Hunter, where there was so much stuff happening. Really cool multitasking by him. But when you're going 2-base, like we were kind of in a stable situation there, isn't it then time to go away from the mini flashy moves? Shouldn't you secure your economy with another Necro, get more towers, make sure you hold on at the expansion? And if he commits in, normally you can snipe the Dryads really easily. You slow them, you focus them with towers and gargoyles, Dryads are gone, and suddenly it's only bears and heroes left who can't deal with the mass too well anymore normally. I feel like VortiX left a little bit on the table there, and yeah, didn't have the perfect game there in the late game anymore.
Yeah, just a really good game from Foggy, though. Like we mentioned it, he was gonna come prepared. The Ancient Protector before the lore was really smart. I think he rushed tier 3 as well to make sure he was going to be able to grab Orb. And always with the double staff play. You know, like back in the day, Hot was one of the best staff players in the world with Staff of Preservation. He played Demon Naga, Demon Panda Bears every game, and he was always so good at saving everything. Foggy's a massive fan of Hot. I mean, probably more so than of Moon, but initially, like, I remember his nickname was SK Hot not too long ago. And he definitely used that as inspiration and made it even better. He has a staff of teleportation all the time as well. Like, if you look at that last fight, it looks very convincing for Foggy, but if he does one little detail worse, he loses that game. If he doesn't come back with a second staff of preservation, maybe he loses the Panda, and then VortiX stabilizes on the Expo. Maybe he wins. So it's all these little things that he does so well that add up and eventually make it look so convincing for him when he gets the win.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, like, it's a chain of things that he does right, and if one of these chain parts are missing, everything might fall apart, and that's probably sometimes why Foggy losses look a little weak, but Foggy wins look even more impressive. So VortiX, is he a one-trick pony? Will he just do it again, or does he have a special trick up his sleeve that Foggy might not be aware of?
It's staring us, so if he has a pocket strategy here, now would be a time to maybe go for it. Maybe a quicker expansion or something like that. But does Foggy even play necessarily the same style? Like, he's capable of playing so many different things. Could go Warden, for all we know, as well.
Yeah, and Terna Stand being in the pool here, that is quite surprising. Normally, this always used to be the #1 veto for Undead. But the fact that VortiX leaves it in the pool means either he has something very special prepared here, or he really would like to go into an expansion game. This is probably the best expansion map we have in the pool, and nowadays, for Undead, it's a lot easier to pull off as well. With there being critters, with just Undead expansions being played more nowadays. But Foggy, not a player to normally shy away from 2-base play. And if he has the hard read here, that VortiX wants to go into 2-base, In that scenario, Warden is crazy strong. Blink across the map, get the Fan of Knives, go for economy, harass over and over, level a Panda elsewhere, and then having high-level Panda and Warden in the late game is really tough to deal with.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Foggy's Warden. He is very, very impressive, as you say. And especially in the late game, he oftentimes thrives. We've seen the craziest base races from this man. So it's definitely up to VortiX to bring it to the table here. Looking forward to it.
All right. Don't give us another 2-0 here, guys.
I'm really sick of these 2-0s. It has to stop.
We've been having a few too many.
Yeah, man. I want the tension of a game 3. It's always something special when it's pretty much do or die. So, VortiX, give it to us. Don't disappoint us again. Don't rob the viewers of more Warcraft content. And with that being said, with being a little angry, we move into Terranastat. There we are, Remo. It's time for the player introductions. The winner of map 1 for the Ukraine, big fan of SK Hard. It's Foggy. That took a little, but it works in the end. In the bottom right, trailing, facing the lower bracket after being so impressive against Neutron, needs another trick. Here is VortiX. Okay, so is it the same build again? And what's Foggy doing? Remo, tell us what's happening.
We're seeing an Ancient of War creep towards the Merc camp, which is always what Night Elf wants to do. They want to get a quick jump start to level 2 and get the Mercs as well. The really nice thing about having mercenaries for Night Elf is, if you have them, you don't have to make archers. If you don't have to make any more archers, of course you will have one. But if you don't have to make more than one archer, that means the Ancient of War can keep on walking right away and keep on creeping elsewhere. And that is so beneficial for any kind of hero progress, be it a Demon Hunter or a Warden. We're going to see what it is. It is the Warden. On this map, we're kind of expecting this. So yeah, Night Elf always wants to go for the Merc camp if they can. And against Undead, normally that works out fairly well. Undead very early pressure isn't that high, kind of as it is from Human as well. Against Orc, this would be very dangerous, with a Blade Master possibly coming in with a Speed Scroll. But against Undead normally, that works out pretty well. That is one of the big reasons why usually Undeads veto this map. But VortiX left it in the pool. Why is that? He's playing DK, he's playing Ghouls. So far, so standard. Is he wanting to go into 2 base? If he does, this Warden may have a field day.
Maybe it's not so standard as you say, Remo, because in the matches before, he was going 1 Ziggurat tech, right? Look at the very bottom right of his base. There's the second Ziggurat hidden behind the Haunted Gold Mine. So that makes it very difficult for Foggy to scout this. And it's an entirely different build. He sells the altar, and this is usually an expansion.
Yeah, this is a fast expansion attempt, but there's 2 Wisps around here. We're just gonna make this a little bit more difficult. Waiting for the Blight to drop. There it is, and the Warden is already running south. DK is gonna get the big creep. Pendant of Energy, excellent drop. But with the Night Elf coming in, VortiX may have to abandon this. Wisp gets a decent detonate, not the perfect one, but good enough. And, well, VortiX now is teching, is not going to pull through with the expansion, because an instant expo against Night Elf, especially against Warden, just isn't reliable, and of course Foggy was looking for this.
Especially Shadow Strikes against Acolytes, single Acolytes, that hurts. Warden finds the ghouls creeping, and this could be pretty brutal if Foggy decides to use his mana early on. Shadow Strike and Fan of Knives committed already, so no blink in this build. Foggy trying to lure in the creeps here as well. The ranged shot from Archer, and got the Shadow Priest as well. So he got a little Dispel on his side while expanding. Not teching yet, so that is definitely delayed, and a little bit of a Foggy special. Second Engine of War. So you can either use that for mass production or just creep the Renegade spot. Gotta be careful here. Has a staff, can get out. The Renegade spot for another big consumable.
Yeah, in this position, if you have the time, this Ancient of War can be great for the Renegade and perhaps even the Lab. But I guess the other Ancient of War is here. And that is the Mercam specialty. The Ancient of War was moving, but Foggy still has more units. He has the Archer, the Shadow Priest, and now should be going for the Berserker as well. There he is. And it's creeping up more and more with this Warden. Big item here, so we mask the Dream. Nope, only a belt. But VortiX was expecting this, and suddenly, this creep deck is kind of scary. Steals one of the creeps away, gets level 2 with that the aura. Could take out this Ancient of War, perhaps.
I agree, there's no Wisp nearby, if I saw that correctly. 20 seconds till Shredder. Warden really hurt, and as I mentioned, no blink, so can't get out of really dangerous situations. Another kill right here. There was a Shadow Priest, so VortiX is stabilizing here after he had to throw away his game plan after, like, what, 3 minutes? Big Invo Potion creeping at the same time. DK is here to gather these items. That all looks pretty solid so far. He also did not forget about rebuilding the altar, which is extremely important because without altar you can't go to tier 3.
Yeah, I feel like this happens to a lot of undead still, but have been getting better at remembering this one. This Tree of Life is still not in position. If the tier 3 comes in here quickly by VortiX, a push could be dangerous, but he's creeping up the natural. Perhaps he still wants to expand, I guess, maybe on tier 2 instead of on tier 1. He's gonna get level 3 here, and the Warden will do the same. Big Invul for her. No mana items at all found for the Warden yet, so not the best, but still useful items. And with a Fan of Knives. Or Shadow Strike, actually. Going for the Death Knight. Might be able to force this Invul Potion.
This Shadow Strike was super annoying for a very, very long time. Nowadays, undeads might have a few more solutions with this, especially with Ritual Dagger, and especially now that he is on tier 2. Not too sure if that's the better choice, but we'll see about that, especially since it kind of indicates an expansion. But this second Shadow Strike, there's more. Amazing block from this Lich. Foggy tries to get a second one. Man, how much does he wish he went for Blink this game?
Yeah, they missed a couple of opportunities. But in this super late game, like if you're level 5 Warden, I think normally having the 2 damage spells is better because you need all the DPS output you can to find the kills. The Warden isn't really the best straight up fighter compared to a Demon Hunter, especially if she's not even level 5. But if we go into multiple bases, she can play a very different game. And it seems like multiple bases is the call here by VortiX. Acolyte at the expansion, setting up the Ziggurat and the Haunted, but instantly scanned for by Foggy.
Yeah, I just found the crystal ball, so I think it's the normal first scan to do. If you already saw the blight, if you saw him creeping there, it was really fast. The one has a couple of more HP with the belt, and the double engine of lore about to finish while tier 3 is on the way, but none of his investments has really paid off. Expo didn't mine a dime, Lores didn't produce a unit, all he has pretty much is a Warden with a little support.
The Warden might be strong enough here, though, to force the Invul Potion. Nicely done. Dodges the damage. Bit of mana wasted on the Warden. And VortiX should be able to at least cancel this Entangled. Is it second hero time? That would help out Foggy quite a bit. If he goes for a Panda right now, this should be easy to hold. But he's not going towards the tavern.
High level Warden, of course, big improvement. You don't want to give up these experience points to something else, but you also don't want to lose too many wisps. There was a nice snipe. The Warden just went home with the staff, not putting up any pressure. VortiX does a great job in preventing creeping, preventing harass, but I think that's over now. That Shadow Strike could not be dodged, and it's time to say bye-bye to the Night Elf expansion, moving home. And now what's the plan? Leveling up, I guess. Lich level 1, not that powerful. You kind of want the aura. Maybe even Death Pact against the Warden for late game. Let's see about that. Tier 3 is at 70% for Foggy, and his Entangled Goldmine still takes some time while VortiX is having the second base up and fully saturated.
I hope this time he goes for a Necro. Last game already we saw how painful it can be. to not have the Necro to remake Acolytes. But perhaps he wants to take first. Going up for a creep jack here. Finds the Warden, taking out the next camp. And the DK getting focused right away. Nice surround on the Warden, but she does have Bling now. Hungry for that kill. There's a healing potion on the Death Knight, but is that even enough is the question. Warden is out of mana. DK though still getting slowed down by these Dryads. Uh-oh! Even without the Warden's input, this DK is going down. And the Warden survives with the Invul potion. VortiX, this creepjack is backfiring hard on him.
Exactly. Foggy loves these renegade camps, and once again it shows why. Yes, it cost an item, but taking out the level 3 DK is usually a neckbreaker for any undead out there in any matchup. But VortiX, of course, seeing the lower bracket in front of his eyes, keeps on fighting. You don't want to tap out when you're on 2 bases as an undead.
Yeah, this game is certainly still absolutely winnable. Not like this is game over. But this was a lot of experience for this Warden. She is very close now to 5. And that is where she needs to be pretty much to be actually effective against undead.
So we have the Shredder for Foggy taking out the little scrubs here at the lab. He's creeping up the Enforcers. So yeah, you're right. This is level 5 in just a blink of an eye. Big experience for Foggy. And not doing any mistakes, not doing any last hits. I like that. Mana Stone. Oh, Foggy likes that for sure.
He does the Shredder. He didn't repair the Shredder.
A player's forces are under attack.
That's a yikes.
Ah, he has enough gold. That kind of throws him back though. But it's a DK for a Shredder now.
Shredder has a 3-minute cooldown or something. It's not that much, but it's a long cooldown. That is a big macro problem. No chims this game.
Well, there's a second lab. Can just go there with a Zeppelin. Well, you need a little bit of gold for that, huh? Don't really have that, huh? No. Panda second.
Foggy is controlling the map well, though. He knows his Warden is strong right now. He has map control, and he's making sure that that VortiX, excuse me, isn't getting anything for free. VortiX would love to just creep up now and find more levels. Level 4 DK, level 3 Lich. Both big level ups. And the Warden sees, well, I can go into this main base, take out a couple of Acolytes, and during the tech, that's going to be quite painful.
Exactly. And now it's kind of good that he has fan of knives, even, oh, well, we'll see about that. Here we go. Shadow Strike 3, of course, blinks in, blinks out. Well done. Distracting VortiX. And now 800 gold again. He's going to the lab, so that is the solution. If you lose one Shredder, just get another one.
Would put him into upkeep, though. Unless he detonates 4 wisps. He's got quite a bit of gold already. Foggy could afford to go into upkeep, not like he has to save so much. I think it wouldn't be too dumb to do. Like, if you ensure you have a big army to creep the rest of the map, experience at this point in the game is absolutely crucial. Finding creep camps to take and being able to gather experience. These ghouls still don't have frenzy. They're pretty slow. They're getting slowed down even more by these Dryads, by the Shadow Strike, by the Drunken Haze. 2 go down. More experience for the Panda. He's almost level 3 already. And once this hero reaches level 3, then the Night Elf duo is very powerful. Sappers.
Foggy
Hired. No Shredder.
The Sapper. So probably a split push attack, right? Like a bottom left. He's gonna try to blow up the Ziggurats here and is attacking with the Warden in the main while probably expanding again. Oh no, he's going for the main with the Sappers as well. Where's the distraction? Needs to land soon. There we go. He sees him coming. Fiend is there. What's he trying to blow up? The shop. Okay.
Alright, that wasn't very cost efficient.
No.
Trying to go for the Haunted, but he doesn't have the damage for this. Foggy will have to TP out here. Trying to get something before he leaves. Oh, nice staff. Oh, didn't even need to TP. The Zeppelin staff play.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay. Lich is coming. Wasn't there with the rest of the army alongside another Fiend. Still very far away from 6, so the ultimate is not threatening VortiX too much. But maybe the Mountain Giants are, because that's what's coming. 7 supply, big tanks for the Night Elf. That's exactly what he's liking at the moment. This, of course, the Panda is quite a tank, but you want your units to distract the undead and mess with his micro. That's exactly what Taunt does.
I'd love to see a third base here for Foggy. And maybe still a Shredder? Oh,
He's expanding bottom
now.
left.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Dark Ranger.
Dark Ranger. But man, these undead heroes are not where they need to be, considering how late we are into the game.
There's also not too much left to creep. Just a few scrubs from the left-hand side lap, I guess. But that's a
Town is
big
under
attack.
siege.
Staff is off cooldown. Foggy can't jump back if he wants to. 2 ghouls. It's quite a big push by VortiX. 64 supply. Invo Potion. Heal Scroll. Third hero. Abomination. Another heal scroll. Foggy is going to be supply blocked at 75, but it's 75.
Alright, the Warden trying to take out as many acolytes and ghouls as she can before she leaves. Even use the big mana stone in the harass rather than the fight. Interesting. And now Staff's out. Heats up again from the Moonwell. She is full mana still. Tree of Life now getting threatened. Foggy lost quite a few buildings, but he will try to defend this one as the MGs are now ready. Panda comes in with a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. We're waiting for the Warden, and here she comes. Some Dryads going down already, but so do the Fiends. The Shadow Strike is doing a lot of damage. Level 4 on the DK, that's a big level up right there. I imagine he will be going for Aura. Destroyers all getting morphed. No more statues on the ground. No more passive sustain for VortiX. So the longer this goes, the harder it will be for the undead. More and more Fiends going down. Some Bears being traded for this. Foggy still supply block, by the way. Can't remake army at the moment. Heal Scroll being used. Warden silenced. But shows so much mana on this Warden. The silence will wear off. And she is finding more kills. Taking out more Fiends. Everything's hurt here for VortiX. Seems like he needs to evacuate with the TP. Trying to buy it. No, it's a Heal Scroll from the shop. But it's too late. But the Fire comes in. Still finds more kills. And this Warden still has so much mana to use. Going for the DK next. He's got an Invul Potion. It's going to be forced into that, perhaps. Panda even hits level 4 by taking out another Destroyer. Everything's still so hurt. VortiX, heart of a lion. He wants to keep fighting. But I think he's going to have to leave here, won't he? Warden, heal potion. Or was it a heal scroll? Healing her up once again. Silence on her. DK in trouble. Waiting to pop that Invul until the very last second. Does it now. But he's still stuck here. The Lich is stuck, getting focused, and Lich is almost dying. Shadow Strike coming in, another heal scroll for VortiX. Can he take out this Panda, perhaps? No, there's an Invul Potion to save that one as well. And now the army is separated. DK on the right, Lich on the left. VortiX can't hold on anymore. The DK was dying, and that is GG. And the 2-0 for Foggy.
Another 2-0 here at DreamHack.